Hello and welcome to Cooking with Craig. Today we're going to do chicken wings. A while back I was talking with my Japanese teacher. She introduced me to ponzu, which is right here. That is a mixture of soy sauce with citrus. Anyway, we were talking about that and talking back and forth about the sauce and what it could be good with, and I came up with the idea of making it into a thicker sauce and putting it on wings, and she thought that was a great idea. So, because you inspired it, today is Chie's chicken wings, okay? So, we're going to start by making the coating. And we're going to put a cup of flour and a whole bunch of spices. So we're going to do a tablespoon of garlic powder, a tablespoon of onion powder, weird one, teaspoon of nutmeg, tablespoon of ginger, a tablespoon of chili powder. And now, this bit is optional, but if you want your chicken wings to have that really crunchy, frothy coating, that's 2 tablespoons of baking soda. Baking soda is going to react and make those air bubbles and make the coating really crispy and frothy. And then grab a whisk and just basically mix that all together. Take a look. Show you here. Okay, want to get that all mixed together. Give it a little shake once in a while, and if you see a section where there's one of the spice colors going up, give it a little bit more mixing because you need it all to be nice and fully combined, so all the wings are going to get all those different flavors in. Over here in the sink we have some chicken wings. And they're in water. Not because they need to be washed or anything, but because you want them to be wet so that they're going to accept that coating better. And I have here the strainer from this bowl set that you use for washing rice, and you pull that up and then the water drains out. But basically any kind of strainer will do. You don't have to use a strainer, but it's easier this way. So we're going to take these wings and literally just toss them in that mix. And mix them around until they're fully coated. Then we're going to put them in here. Do the rest. Well, do some more. Eventually we're going to do all of it, obviously. What would be the point of doing half of it? So while this is going over on the stove, I've got a little deep fryer pot that is heating up, and we're looking for 160 Celsius. You don't want extra flour just because it's just going to clog up your oil. So then we're just going to shake these off. You got one more of the coating in there again. Make sure you want them all nice and fully coated. You just shake it in that colander, and then all the extra stuff goes away. All the coating and stuff. You know the drill in the kitchen. Whenever you think you should wash your hands, you should wash your hands. If you don't think you should wash your hands, wash your hands. So over here we have this. You can see we're just hitting in the right temperature there. But before we throw the wings in, we got to get the ponzu sauce at least ready to start. We're not going to heat it yet because the reaction with the cornstarch is fairly quick, and we don't want to go past and get it to burn. So we'll just get it ready. First, we're going to mix up a slurry of cornstarch and water. This is going to thicken up your sauce. And this is 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of water. Equal proportions. 2 tablespoons, as I said, is going to make it thicker. It's going to cling to the wings better. And that's what you want. So that's 2 and 2. Just grab something to stir it up. Now it's going to look like it's not going to work at the start. The cornstarch is going to go really stiff and like it doesn't want to mix, just keep at it for a couple seconds and it will all dissolve. So there we go. Now to make this happen, you're going to need the ponzu sauce to be boiling. Ponzu, mirin. Ponzu is a mixture of soy sauce and Japanese citrus, generally mikan or yuzu. And once you crack this open and you think, I've never had ponzu before, and smell this, you'll think, wait a minute, I've been in a Chinese food restaurant or I've been in a Japanese sushi place before. I've smelled this, I've had it before. And the other is mirin, which is a sweet Japanese cooking rice wine. Now, don't be fooled. You can go into stores and get what they say is mirin, but it's actually just sort of thinned down corn syrup with some flavoring. You want to get the one that's actually used rice wine. And we're going to use half a cup of each of these into the saucepan right over here. And half a cup of ponzu. We'll bring over the wings that have already been coated. We put those in close to the oil, but not touching the oil for your hands. You don't want to drop them from a height because you don't want this hot oil to splash on you. You don't need to use one of these fancy schmancy deep frying pots. You can use any pot. It doesn't matter as long as you have enough oil to cover the wings so you can deep fry. And we're going to let that go for 5 minutes. So while those are going, now that we got that started, we can turn the burner on for the ponzu sauce. You want to get this to just a slow boil. We know about that furious boil and everything's frozen over. Just want like a slow boil. So this is also something to note. When you put the wings in, the temperature will drop a bit. That is normal. Don't worry, it will get back up. If you're going to do how I did it, you have the paper towel on a plate on the stove. Make sure it's nowhere near the other burner. You don't want to start a fire. Maybe you do, but don't. So if you don't have one, I advise you get a thermometer for checking your oil to get the temperature. This pot I got off Amazon for or 25 bucks or something like that. Has an integrated thermometer in it, so I get an idea of the oil temperature. If you're going to do this, also consider investing in one of these containers that has the strainer in the top to put your oil in once it's cooled down, because you don't want to use the oil once and then dump it down the sink. But you also don't want to use it too much. When the oil starts changing color, getting like more brown and golden, that's a real hint that you should probably get rid of it. Use some prep. Okay, 5 minutes. 5 minutes. This is going up in here. We're going to pop this open. And take a look at these. That crispy coating, all nice and just the right color of brown. Golden brown. You may notice, you see, it's starting to boil there. So we're going to give this a little stir around. Then get the cornstarch slurry and come and add into it. And as I said, if it will have separated a bit. Give it a little bit of a stir. Keep stirring it as you just pour it in. And the sauce is going to go cloudy for a minute there. As you see, I'm going to stir it around, make sure it's all getting fully there. And you see the sauce is already starting to change color back to what it was before. And it's also already starting to thicken up. Like I said, if you have this water boiling, when you add this, look at this. Look at how thick that sauce is getting. Okay, turn the heat off that burner. We don't want that sauce to thicken up any further, so let's take this off the heat. Oh, smells so good. And I'm just going to drop this, for want of a better place, in the sink because that's nice metal and it's cool. So it's going to help leach out some of the heat to stop that from thickening any further. I'm just going to leave that aside until we go to put it on the wings. And what we're going to do is we're going to put all the wings in here, dump all that on, shake, be done. Okay. Turn the heat off because this is the last of the wings. Pop that open. Then the last ones out. Expressions. Pull that up. Now, do not just dump this down the sink now. Do not handle it with your bare hands. These handles will still be hot. What we're going to do is we're going to take that, put that aside to allow that oil to completely cool down. Then I'm going to pour it through the strainer into this so I can reuse it later. If I said if it's too dark, once it's cooled, you can get rid of it down the sink, running hot water so nothing clogs up, or however you have to dispose of oil. But don't get rid of it while it's hot. You're just going to burn yourself, and that's not a good time for anybody. So now we'll come back over here. We got our sauce, nice and thick here. I'm going to take our wings from the plate and dump them into that bowl. Look at that. You can hear it, nice and crispy. And we're going to just pour the sauce right all over them like that. Shake these around. Make sure they're all really coated in the sauce. And I'm just going to pour them out onto the plate. And if you're thinking, oh, those look so good, you're right. So, that is how you make Chie's ponzu sauce chicken wings. So we will catch you next time with another recipe. Try this. If you do try this, let me know how you made it. Okay? See you later.